Watching this live stream from. My name is Michael Firth, Neumi Crown and founding field advisory board member with the company. And for those people who know that I'm in the beautiful Sunshine Coast, you can see behind me, the weather is magnificent, and Cyclone Alfred unfortunately did hit the Gold Coast and northern New South Wales, and it hit north of us in Hervey Bay where they flooded, but it spared the Sunshine Coast this far down, and we almost saw no results at all. So we got all the furniture off the balcony, and then we put it all back out again the next day, and back to normal. So put your prayers out for the people in Gold Coast and Hervey Bay and Lismore. But other than that, we're all good. So today, I just want to say we're live streaming right now on social media into 74 different countries. Neumi has had a track record like most companies that just envy, because we're so big around the world so quick. With that in mind, type in exactly where you're watching this from as we get started. Now, I know it takes about 60 seconds for people to get on before they see the alert. So while you're typing that, where you're watching us from, I'm going to put on a quick timer, and then we'll get the event underway. Alrighty, welcome online, ladies and gentlemen. This is being live streamed around the planet, and particularly on the channel called Everything Neumi Worldwide. And that is the hub for live stream events for Neumi around the world, all over the place. Having said that, if you don't speak fluent English, guess what? That's not a problem for us either, because we have tools in almost every language known to man on that Facebook page, Everything Neumi Worldwide, as well as the YouTube channel. So as we kick off today, I just want to say, type in "pick me please" if you would like to go into the draw for a free product. And I normally pick in advance the winners of our event, but guess what? I just realized I didn't do it. So I'm going to do it real live here, where I'm scanning through the people who typed in "pick me please" in the last event. And then I'm going to give you a name randomly, and that will be our lucky winner for today, where they receive a free bottle of product from me. And just waiting for that to come up. Here we go. So there was about 40 to 50 comments last time that said "pick me please." All right, we're going to have Anna Pristopin. Anna, Anna-Pristopin. Anna Pristopin, you are the lucky winner from last week. If you could send a Facebook message to the page, that's where you saw it on Everything Neumi Worldwide. If you could send a private message to the page with your email, your address, full details, we'll get you a free bottle of product out, which is fantastic. So thank you for being on the last event. I can see people are typing in where they're watching us from right now. There are people from all over the place. So keep typing them in the chat. And now today, even though I've introduced this event, I'm not the interviewer. I'm going to introduce you to my good friend, Keith Chazon. Now, Keith, if you don't know, is actually a double diamond with our company around the world, with teams in lots of different countries. And he's a good friend of our interview today, which is Dr. Roopa. So with that in mind, I'll hand you over to Keith. All yours, buddy.
All right. Well, thank you, Michael. It's really a pleasure. I'm excited to be back here once again to interview my friend, Dr. Roopa Chari. She's got a wealth of knowledge, when it comes to medicine, the body, both integrative and functional. And she's been doing that for 25 years at the Chari Center of Health, mostly telehealth out of Florida. She's among the first doctors in America to be named the best doctor by the Women's Choice Awards from 2023 to 2025, featured on local and national television shows, including the Learning Channel, specialized in advanced natural solutions for women's health, weight loss, hormone balance, and age reversal. So join me in welcoming my friend, Dr. Roopa Chari.
Thank you, Keith. Thank you, Keith. It's great to be here.
Absolutely. It's great to be here too, be here with you. We were here a couple of weeks ago when we did kind of like a deep dive into glutathione itself. And for those watching for the first time, if you haven't seen that initial interview, it's going to be in the chat. We're going to actually put the link to that first interview in the chat, so you can click on it and go watch it. And I encourage you that you do. very informative, very detailed. But Dr. Chari, for those who weren't here last time, can you tell us a little bit more about your background for those that weren't here?
Absolutely, Keith. So I'm a medical doctor and my specialty is in internal medicine. But because of our mother and how she raised myself and my brother, we were always exposed to natural healers from India and other countries around the world who talked about natural ways of healing, preventing, reversing different conditions using herbs, using food, using nutrition, and cleansing out those toxins, and then about the mind body connection. So that was really ingrained in me growing up. And then my mother said, if you go into medicine, you can be the bridge between allopathic medicine and natural healing and help prevent people from getting different medical conditions and help them even reverse it and using a natural route, but having the knowledge of both sides. So that's what I've been doing for over 25 years, treating all general medical conditions, but with a natural, holistic approach.
That is so awesome. I love it. It's really where my heart's at, the natural, holistic type approach. So I'm excited that that's where your practice has taken you. So, we talked about glutathione a couple weeks ago. And again, for the folks who haven't been here, kind of give a synopsis, help us to briefly understand what is glutathione.
Well, glutathione is the mother of all antioxidants, and it has over 400 functions in the human body, which is amazing. And I'm not going to go into all 400. I'm just going to talk about the few 4 or 5 top, purposes of glutathione in our bodies. And it's fascinating because Stephen Scott mentions that, even if there was a planet which had oxygen and which had water, if there is no glutathione, there is no life. There's no human life, no plant life, no bug life. I mean, that's really phenomenal. That is how important glutathione is. And it's a combination of 3 key amino acids. And I'll go into that in just a bit. And those amino acids, when they're put together, are so powerful. I mean, books have been written about the importance of glutathione because in PubMed, which is an archive of all the most important research on various different topics. But as far as with glutathione goes, there's over 183,000 studies, which is unbelievable. And I know in medical school, they hardly mentioned it. And even nowadays, if, speaking to other practitioners and doctors, they may have heard of glutathione, but really don't appreciate the true significance and importance and impact it has on our health and our life. And some of the key functions of glutathione is, well, number one, to protect our immune system. So our immune system is our defense in protecting us against all the bad guys, whether it's bacteria, viruses, fungus, parasites, whatever it may be, outside toxic agents that, are in our body as well. We need a balance, and other agents that we're exposed to in our environment. And so glutathione helps protect our immune system because our immune system protects us. It has our Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. But then what is protecting our soldiers? What is protecting our immune system ultimately is glutathione. And glutathione also helps us detoxify. And nowadays, Keith, we always talk about this. The amount of toxins we're exposed to is unbelievable in our air, water, food, soil. We're getting it from all levels from chemical poisons, from our pesticides, herbicides, fungicides, from glyphosate to electromagnetic frequencies, to mold, to radioactive frequencies, to heavy metals and all kinds of heavy metals. It's everywhere. We can't escape it. So before, like in thousands of years ago, they would do a detoxification every season. We need to do this on a daily basis. And glutathione helps us detoxify our bodies, which is, I really feel, is life-saving. And so detoxification is another major function, protecting our immune system, a major function. Third one is helping our cells get more oxygen. Because even if you have the right amount of iron and hemoglobin, which carries the oxygen, like in the red blood cells carry oxygen to your cells, but without the proper charge of the protein called hemoglobin that's in these red blood cells, then your cells cannot bind to the hemoglobin, can't bind to the oxygen and deliver it. So what helps it do that is glutathione again. So even to get oxygen and the right amounts of oxygen to our cells is by glutathione. And this is a key phrase I would love everyone to remember: is cells make up your tissues, and your tissues make up your organs, and your organs make up all the different systems in your body. They call it the cardiovascular system, which is your heart. And then you have the digestive system and the lungs. And you have the lymphatic system, which helps your immune system vacuum clean over your body. Every single system in your body is dependent on the health of your cells. And the health of your cells is dependent on how much glutathione your cells are able to make. And then nowadays we have to get it from outside source because we're burning up through so much of it because of all the toxins we're exposed to. And then it helps us give energy to our cells because we have these little battery packs in our cells that are called mitochondria. And what protects our mitochondria and the DNA, which is like the blueprint of instructions for our little battery packs to generate energy, what protects that mitochondrial DNA is glutathione again. Because if our mitochondria, if the DNA of our mitochondria is not working the way it should properly and normally, then our cells can begin to mutate, and then they start over replicating, and that can lead to a whole host of other diseases. And then glutathione also helps to decrease inflammation. Now, we need inflammation, but we need it in right amounts, like anything. I always give analogy of Goldilocks: not too much, not too little.
Right.
And so when we have the right amount of inflammation, that's fine. But what's happening pretty much across the board with all of us, because of all the toxins we're exposed to, plus stress, and we're not getting enough nutrients in our diets because of the way of the world it is in the moment, with our soil being depleted of nutrients, is that now we need more support than ever before to decrease that inflammation. And glutathione helps to do that as well. So it's protecting our cells, which is protecting our organs, which is protecting our life. So without glutathione, there is no life. I can't emphasize that enough. So these are just some of the key benefits and importance of why we need to take glutathione.
It really is the miracle molecule, right?
Beautiful stated. Yes, absolutely, Keith.
There's a large growing body of evidence as to why we should be supplementing with glutathione, but not just any old glutathione, right? It's got to be one that could actually be effective enough, actually can get into the cell. And Neumi has developed the HydraStat molecular encapsulation technology that delivers the glutathione into the cell. So it's absolutely remarkable, but it doesn't work alone. When we consider the Neumi NutraSwish, there are other ingredients that actually helps the glutathione do its job more effectively and efficiently. Can you tell us a little bit more about those?
Yes. So the beauty is when combining the glutathione with vitamin C, curcumin, and cysteine, it helps the glutathione to work that much better. And for many reasons, which we'll go into today, but it's like a dynamic combination of superpowers all put together to enhance the function of the glutathione. And each individually, which we'll go into the benefits, is so remarkable that when you get all these superpowers in one product, it's phenomenal what can be possible.
It sounds like an Avengers movie.
Exactly.
Tell us more about vitamin C. Why is it important?
Yes. So I'm going to share with everybody some of the symptoms of not having enough vitamin C. And because for a vast number of people, we're probably low in vitamin C, and that can show up in so many different physical symptoms, such as fatigue, just feeling tired, or bruising easily, like you may knock your arm on something and then look and say, oh my God, what happened here? Or even just look and see some bruises and wonder, where is this coming from? Or you may have bleeding gums, or gum disease. That's can be due to low vitamin C. pale skin, poor wound healing when there's a cut and it's just not healing quickly. That can be due to low levels of vitamin C, and loss of collagen. And that may show up in different ways. It can show up as loose teeth. It can show up as aging skin, and also weakened ligaments and tendons, with our joints. It can show up in so many different ways because collagen is a protein. That's like the matrix that's making up everything in our body. It makes up the structure of our skin, of our bones, of our tendons, of our cartilage, everything. Every organ in our body is made up of collagen. But vitamin C is needed for the process to actually make collagen. So if we're not getting enough collagen, then it's going to show up like that. And also with some of the symptoms I mentioned, and also a weakened immune system. You know how people reach for vitamin C when they're feeling run down, because you need vitamin C. You need it for your soldiers to mobilize your army, your navy, your air force, your Marines to go after the bad guys in your body, regardless of the bacteria, viruses, fungus, whatever, parasites, whatever it may be. We need the juice of vitamin C to do that. It also, if we have low levels of vitamin C, we'll have more biofilms, like more plaque and tartar around our teeth. So we really need vitamin C for every function. And if we have low levels of vitamin C, that can also lead to anemia, which means we're not even getting enough oxygen. So, and then other issues like spider veins, which, seem like a cosmetic nuisance, and they don't look so good, but it's because we're not getting enough vitamin C, because vitamin C is the building block again for the structure of our arteries and our veins. And even shortness of breath, because we're not getting enough oxygen, can be due to low levels of vitamin C, and our adrenals. I think, with all the stress that's been going on with everything we've been exposed to for so long and years, it's, taxed our adrenals. And with that, we need vitamin C. So those are just some of the reasons why vitamin C is so important. And then combining that with glutathione, it's like the dynamic duo to start off with. And because, as I mentioned before, glutathione is the mother of all antioxidants. Well, vitamin C is very important as a very, very powerful antioxidant. Right. So when you combine both, you get more antioxidant power, which means you're getting rid of free radicals. And believe it or not, we need some free radicals. But nowadays, again, with all the toxins we're exposed to, we have too many free radicals floating around in our body, and they can damage our cells, they can damage our DNA, they can damage our organs, and lead to a whole host of a lot of the different medical conditions that are out there in the world now. So, and it also, vitamin C helps to increase glutathione production, because we need support as much as we can in making our own as well. And then it helps with combining vitamin C and glutathione, helps with detoxification, which, again, as I was mentioning, we need to do on a daily basis. It's not optional to do it here or there, but it needs to be done safely and regularly.
For sure, safely and regularly. It sounds like that vitamin C is almost as important as glutathione. Good thing they're working together in this in the NutriSwitch, right? Now I know you're mentioning different conditions and what have you. Just a disclaimer that the what you're talking about is the individual molecules of vitamin C and glutathione, not necessarily the fact that NutriSwitch is doing anything as far as healing or mitigating anything like that, but it's the individual components that studies have been done on and proven to be very effective in handling these types of situations you're talking about. Pretty cool. So the next ingredient that the NutriSwitch has in it that Neumi brought together to bear on our daily health and restoration is curcumin. Can you dive a little bit deeper into how it's effective when coupled with glutathione?
Definitely, Keith. So curcumin is one of the components from turmeric, and turmeric is that spice that was used in India and other countries around the world because it has so many healing benefits which I'll list just a few of them because they're so powerful. but it's that yellow pigment in the turmeric, which is curcumin. So some of the benefits include it helps with cholesterol. And I know there's another deep rabbit hole when we talk about cholesterol, but as far as this, I have to be honest with you, there's no really good or bad cholesterol. They just have different purposes. But for today's talk, just going to mention that with curcumin, it helps to lower LDL cholesterol. LDL is really actually like a protein. And what happens when that becomes rancid, then that can lead to other problems. It's like if we leave an apple on a table, for example, for days on end, and it starts getting bad. Or if, there's water on some iron and it gets rusted. So what happens is, how can we prevent that? Well, let's say with an apple, you squeeze some lemon juice on it with the vitamin C, that can help. But another aspect is with the curcumin, which again comes from turmeric, has so many health benefits, and there's so many studies on it. So it can help with lowering cholesterol by helping your body clear cholesterol. It can help decrease the amount of cholesterol your liver makes in the first place. And it helps the LDL cholesterol. It can lower that level and prevent it from becoming rancid. It also can help with, curcumin can help with decreasing joint pain by decreasing inflammation. So I'm talking about, again, with curcumin and the studies that have shown that it can help decrease pain, inflammation, increase mobility for both, let's say, rheumatoid arthritis and osteoarthritis, prevents that morning stiffness. So curcumin has so many benefits with our joints. It also increases the good bacteria in the gut, and our gut health is central for our entire body health. And it also protects our brain and our nervous system. And in fact, India used to have the lowest rates of Alzheimer's or neurodegenerative diseases, dementia and other diseases of the brain and nervous system, because it reduces inflammation in the brain. So curcumin can actually go through the blood-brain barrier to protect our brain, to protect our brain cells, to protect the connections between the brain cells, and even create new connections between the brain cells, which is remarkable. So it's also can increase DHA, which is an important omega-3 fatty acid, important for our brain health and our eye health. And it promotes the growth of healthy new brain tissue and brain cells. And so, again, that's very critical with everything we're seeing in the world today. That's why a lot of people have been talking about, a lot of practitioners and scientists have been talking about curcumin. It also, the curcumin can boost our energy levels by supporting the health of those little battery packs in our cells called mitochondria, which is very important because ultimately, when the cells generate energy, that gives us life. And so it can even help to repair mitochondria. It can even help to repair your battery packs in your cells, which give you energy, which give you life. So that's very important. It can also help heal kidney issues, kidney damage, and also for hay fever, seasonal allergies. It helps decrease inflammation, which can be so helpful. And another very key point is it can help with heart health because it improves, heart is basically a muscle. So it can help improve the function of the muscles of our heart. And even if there's any structural damage to the heart, it can help repair that. Curcumin is that powerful. So then when you combine, again, superpowers, glutathione with the curcumin, can you imagine what's possible? Because curcumin can also increase the production of glutathione. So not only does it work synergistically, again, as an antioxidant and help get rid of those free radicals that can damage our cells and organs, but it also helps to decrease inflammation in the body. It working together, it can also boost the production of glutathione and enhance the function of glutathione. And it can even help protect our liver. Our liver is so important. It has incredible number of functions, and whatever number they give it, I always say multiply that by infinity. We're just going to keep discovering all the benefits and functions of the liver. And so it will help increase the glutathione content even in the liver. So it's critical in combination with glutathione to just enhance our, again, health and well-being.
Wow. I tell you what, I hope you guys and gals out there are taking notes, because she's teaching me a lot of stuff that I wasn't even aware of. So thank you so much. Up to this point, it's been absolutely amazing. You know, we talked earlier about the molecule glutathione, and that it's a tripeptide. It's 3 amino acids, right? Glycine, glutamic acid, and L-cysteine. So in the NutraSwish product, Neumi added one of those amino acids, the L-cysteine. Why is that important that it's in this formula?
Yes. So, excuse me. So cysteine is an amino acid. It's like the building blocks. Like, we used to play with Legos when growing up, and those Legos and those building blocks end up creating, like when we're kids, when with Legos, it creates, you can make cars, you can make so many different things. So these building blocks create these proteins, and then these proteins are responsible for all the functions in our body. So cysteine contains a very important ingredient called sulfur. And with that, it can almost act like a flypaper to attract different toxins to help clear it out of our bodies. But what's happening nowadays is, you can find it in foods and in the soil, but currently in this day and age, we are not getting enough cysteine in our food because it's depleted in our soil. It's just the way of the world at the moment. And it has such an important role for so many different functions. And it's a very, very, cysteine is a very, very important precursor to help make glutathione. So we need it as a building block to actually make glutathione. So that is why it is absolutely critical, absolutely critical. And then when combined, just as you mentioned, Keith, with the glycine and glutamic acid, that trio then combines to form glutathione, but you need the cysteine, and none of us is getting enough of it in the world we're living in through our diet. It's just not happening. So some of the symptoms, if you have a low cysteine level, it can include fatigue and weakness and a weakened immune system, and it can even slow the growth in children. So that's how important cysteine is. And it's a vital antioxidant as well. And so it helps maintain your body's defense systems against everything that we're exposed to. So it's a hand in glove in both helping create glutathione, enhancing the function of glutathione, and for our general health and well-being. So by combining all of these forces together with the cysteine, with the curcumin, and with the vitamin C, with the glutathione, oh my goodness, win-win.
Absolutely. It really is the Avengers, right?
Yes, exactly, Keith.
It's amazing. It's pretty awesome. I the thing is about delivery. You've made a great case tonight about the significant need to supplement with things like glutathione and vitamin C and curcumin and then the rate limiting amino acid L-cysteine. And there's a growing body of evidence out there as why we need to supplement with it. But it's all about actually getting it into the cell, correct? And so that's what Neumi has done, is they've combined all these ingredients in the product called NutraSwish, or Swish 30 for the professional branding, and made it available through HydraStat molecular encapsulation. So when you swish it, goes right through the mucosa into your cheeks and gums within 30 seconds, into the cell within 70. And you've taken quite a liking to that supplement, and because of its delivery system, and you've been using it in your practice, correct?
Absolutely, Keith. Regularly with my patients.
What kind of results have you been seeing overall? Just a few examples.
Definitely more energy, enhanced quality of sleep. They notice that it enhances their workout. They're able to work out for longer periods of time and not feel the wear and tear afterwards. In fact, they said they feel even more energized. And they've also noticed that they're looking younger. Because when they're decreasing inflammation and enhancing circulation, oxygenation, it's going to enhance the function of your cells and your organs. So that's another side benefit.
Absolutely remarkable interview, Dr. Chari. I'm so excited you were able to make it again tonight. And thank you so much for coming and giving us the wisdom and insight into those ingredients in Neumi's premier flagship product called NutraSwish. A great, great night. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Keith.
Absolutely. So, you know, if you didn't get to see the first interview on glutathione, we popped the link to that in the chat. So make sure you go and click that and watch it. It's really, really informative. Dr. Chari did a fantastic job then and also again tonight. So once again, thank you so much, Dr. Chari. This was absolutely remarkable. Now, if you type "pick me" in the chat, your name's going to go into a drawing for next week's winner. So go right now, type "pick me" in the chat, and then Michael's going to have another drawing for a winner next week. And make sure you attend next week, because this next Monday night, we're going to be back for another interview series. It's going to be, the time is actually going to be 5 o'clock Pacific, 6 o'clock Mountain, 7 Central, 8 on the East Coast. We were an hour later this time because of that wonky daylight savings time adjustment. But next week, we'll be back to a regular schedule, 5 p.m. on the West Coast, 6 o'clock Mountain, 7 Central, 8 o'clock on the East Coast. Until then, we'll see you next Monday night. Good morning, good afternoon.